다시友達が来たちにしゃくんのかぶで
チェアが好きですか？
好き好き好き好き好き
Konnichiwa! Yes, today we're talking about language shadowing. It's very important, and we're going to be doing this through our entire language journey. Even the little kiddos are going to do it. It's kind of fun. So, language shadowing is just what it sounds like. You're going to listen to a native speaker speak, and then you're going to repeat exactly what they say, verbatim. And try to match the tone and pitch as much as possible because that will help you sound like a native speaker in the future when you're just speaking on your own. So this is very important. I know, again, I talk about Shimajiro, but that's where I started my language shadowing from. If Shimajiro mama said it, I said it too. So we language shadow. If Shimajiro says it, Jason repeats. And it's funny because I was just doing these things to kind of like, okay, how can I help? How can I get him to say what other little Japanese kids are saying and we're not around them all the time? You know, what can we be doing? And I kind of just figured it out on my own in the dark. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Now that I'm researching these things and finding them, it's fun to, you know, kind of concrete the methods that I was using into an official name. So we were language shadowing. And Jason has like no accent. His Japanese is pure, and I get that all the time from natives, and I can just, you know, I hear it. He just blends in when he's at the park versus me. I sound like not the worst of the American speaking Japanese, but you can tell that I've definitely learned it versus Jason, who learned it as a kid. So language shadowing is important. I recently started having a little bit more time to start adding some adult language shadowing to my time, thanks to the maker of Wanikani. He has some audio clips of Japanese speakers having conversations, and I found some Mama Tomo. Okay, that's it means mama friends talking, and I've been trying to shadow that so that when I go to Jason's school, I won't just stand there and look strange because there's so much slang and things like this. I actually was going to do a video about am I fluent, and I'll save that. I'll do the video because you probably want to know, like, are you actually fluent? Huh? So I'll do that next. Yes, so back to the topic of language shadowing. So there's so much on YouTube, especially if you're learning English. But any language, really, you can find language shadowing, but mostly just follow the fun, as Ajax would say, right? Follow the fun. Whatever you're interested in, that's what you should be shadowing. And for me, my number one interest in this time period in my life is my children. So my children's language and mama talk is down to a T. Like, I can fuss and chew Jason out in Japanese, and I can tell him how, you know, guide him on how to write letters and how to do this. And so I might not, you know, get your car fixed in Japanese, but I can instruct my child like how to do stroke order and things like this, because that's what's kind of fun for me. It's, you know, might not be fun, but you know, it's our mama interest right now. And so that's where my head is all the time, like how my children are developing, how can I be helping them? So I need to learn how to be able to instruct them in both languages, because I was gonna make this a thing. I definitely don't want to just fuss at him when he does something wrong in English or just in Japanese, because I don't want him to associate any of those languages with being in trouble. I hear a lot of parents that will do that. Like, they always revert back to, I know the Spanish mamas are mostly the ones that tell me this, that they'll chew their kid out in Spanish. But then they're going to always associate that with getting in trouble. And of course, they're not going to want to, you know, embrace that language too much because you're always fussing in it. So leave some of the fussing for English and the happy times for Spanish. Okay, so language shadow everything, repeat everything verbatim. Speaking doesn't have to be complicated. All the answers are already here. They're already on the internet. They're already out there. So you don't have to sit here and try to like remake it. Just pretend you're that annoying 4-year-old kid that's why, and they copy what you say and they just ask why to fill in the rest. All right? So if you hear someone say something, just verbatim repeat it. Pause, rewind, play it again. Pause, rewind, play it again. Over and over until you sound just like that person. It's not mocking them. It's how you learn. It's how babies learn. It's how everyone learns. Look up any polyglot, any person who's learned a language. And if they didn't language shadow, I bet their accent is garbage. Okay? Trust me on that one. So get language shadowing. Find out what makes you happy. What's your hobby? What's your interest? And YouTube it. Who's doing it in your language? And then you say what they say verbatim. Washing the dishes, just put your headphones in, repeat what they say. Pause, rewind, repeat. Okay? All right. Short and to the point, right? I'll see you next week. Johnny.